Trust and jealousy, healing old wounds together.
Well, this is the fourth episode of the
10.
why.
10.
Mhm.
Why couples argue. This is a big one because a lot of trust issue and jealousy comes oftentimes not from this particular relationship, but from previous relationships. How many people have been cheated on in previous relationships? I don't know. I don't know if what the percentage is. Probably in the 90th percentile. I would imagine, based on the people that I work with.
You just mentioned a couple days ago that was an app for married people
Yeah,
to cheat.
yeah.
Cool.
I learned that from a client of mine who's going through. Well, no, already got divorced, but absolutely devastated. Spent 40, 40 years with this person, and realized now for the last 11 years that I'd never heard of this website. I forgot the name of it now, but it's a website for married people who want to have affairs. Like, talk about an unbelievably unethical business to run.
Wow,
Wow.
that's something, huh?
Because that is a betrayal that cuts so deep. So, so deep. I've had so many couples in here and individuals, and they're just devastated, right? So, whether it's in this relationship and that trust can be built back up if you're still with that person, as long as there's 100% transparency and both people are all in. And that's another episode that we've had. Well, I'll share that right here. Um, but if it's with somebody else in a previous relationship, you talk about all the triggers, especially when it comes about the phone, because the phone is everything, right? You have access to everything on the phone. So, you know, just grabbing the phone, seeing the light, no, the light on the phone.
Don't touch my phone.
Uh, yeah, don't know my code, and yeah, I'm sitting here on the phone, and then you come sit next to me, and then all of a sudden I'm going like this because I don't want you to see my screen. Little red flags, right? And so lingering fears from past relationships uh, can be feeling insecure in the relationship for a lot of different reasons, right?
Well, that's something that gonna hurt your relationship if you don't deal with that. If you don't heal, if you don't get some help in
Mm-hmm.
order to move forward.
Yeah, yeah, and even in the relationship, like if I feel as though you're not fully in the relationship, you seem distracted, you want to spend more time with your friends than you do with me or work, and maybe you're looking at other women or things like that. It's gonna make me feel insecure in the relationship, right?
Yeah, that's a very the difficult situation when you don't feel secure in a relationship, when you found yourself in this state that you need to look for the what the other is doing, what his websites that he's going into. So you found yourself in the relationship in a whole, and it's no growing, it's constant fighting. Being in that unsecure state is terrible.
Mm, definitely. Yeah, and like you said, there's no growth. You're just always in this heightened state of alert because, oh my gosh, he's going to this, uh, the company party or going on his business trip, and what is he going to do? He's going to go out after the conference and with the people and have some drinks, and then what? And yeah, when do most affairs happen, and whether it's a one-time thing or it is in the evening, later in the day, and when people are under the influence. So that's when the resistance is lowered, and and it's always a matter of an opportunity that comes out about. So what do you have to do when you are in a committed relationship is that you don't put yourself in those situations. Plain and simple.
Yeah, because the interaction in the couple, when you put yourself in a situation like that, is the one is trying to hide someone and the other is trying to chase and so that's the interaction, and you forget about all the other beautiful things that you can have
Mm,
from that.
yeah,
That's terrible.
absolutely. And the other thing is also if it would there might not be any of those things going on at all. However, it could be just uh, that maybe you are always snapping at me whenever I try to tell you something, or you um, you're judging me as like, that's just dumb people, or you're too sensitive, or these kinds of things. You're not taking the things that I say seriously, and and then I don't feel safe bringing things up, and then we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to be able to resolve anything when you don't make it uh, uh, provide an emotionally safe place for me to talk with you, and vice versa. It's always vice versa. It's always a two-way street, right?
Build the trust is the foundation of the relationship. Without trust is nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing is gonna grow. And
yeah. In fact, in the Gottmans, they've done 40 plus years of research on couples, so and have identified what are all the factors. Trust is one of the foundations. In the sound relationship house, right here, is you can see that there are different areas. It goes from the ground and up, and then there are two pillars that hold up the roof. And trust and commitment are the two pillars that hold everything else up.
that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And if there are a lot of these issues that we brought up, whether past issues for yourself or in the couple, you might need the support of a therapist who can help you do that work, because it can be done. You can get to a better place. You do have to address it. You can't just pretend it's not there. You're not going to get anywhere by not addressing it.
Yeah, just the fact that you close your eyes, it doesn't mean it's gonna disappear.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking, and you can do a lot with wishful thinking, but you can't just. Like I remember, I remember my godparents, my godfather would do our taxes every year whenever when I was growing up, and my mom. And they said that my mom, when we first moved to Denmark, she would take all the bills and put them in the drawer, and let's just pretend that they didn't happen. And I don't know what happened, but we were everything always stayed on, so I don't know what happened. But I was just a very typical example of how my mother lived her life. Let's pretend it's not there. So it doesn't work. We have to address things so that we can move on and resolve them and figure out how to get beyond that and build that life that we want, which is what this is all about. Two is one is all about uh, building that dream life and creating that reality that's going to get you there. In this part of trust and jealousy, we can help each other heal from our old wounds. And I know that for you, as an example, for me, you, for me, have helped me in so many ways with regards to healing, because you are just that rock in my life. I never have to worry about, you know, you than anybody, and you're here. You it's obvious that you make me a priority in our relationship, a priority, and just always my support person and cheering me on and believing in me, and it's incredible.
I made a lot of mistakes in my past, previous life, and that hurt very much. So that's important to learn from our mistakes and try to avoid as much as we can.
Mm.
Let me ask you something. In your experience as a therapist,
Mm-hmm.
after an affair, cheating in a relationship, how difficult is to rebuild trust?
Yeah, that again, it does take time, and it has a lot to do with the person who stepped out, their ability and willingness, you always have the ability, but the willingness to be 100% transparent, to be willing to tell the story as many times as, let's say it was me that stepped out, and you're going to have questions, and you're going to have some of the same questions many times, and for me to be willing to answer them as many times as you have them to ask, that I am exactly what I say I'm gonna do when I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it, and if I don't, and for some reason I'm running late to this, that, and the other, I'm telling you why I'm late, and I can show you this, that, and the other. But the more that you have behavior and words come together all the time, that's what builds that trust back. But if I, however, and it's like, I already told you that, I don't want to talk about it, and you should just be over it, I don't want to talk about it anymore, that happens a lot of times. That's going to take even longer, because now I'm acting in ways that are being suspicious. I'm not honoring the fact that I just ripped your heart out of your chest. So, yeah, as always, it depends on.
Another question.
Hmm?
So, in your experience,
Mm.
who it's men or women are the is easier for a man to forgive, or the opposite?
I don't know if there's a difference, because both people are devastated, in my experience. Yeah, because it's the whole betrayal and the lying and pretending, and oh my gosh, we went here and we did this, and we were pretending to be that, and yeah, so it's just such deep betrayal. Mm. I don't know that there's a difference in the
Yeah.
gender
Hmm.
and forgiving.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought was easier for woman forgive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't that way.
Mm.
No.
Nope. Yeah. So not in my experience anyway. Yeah. So yes.
Very interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Trust is the foundation of everything.
Yep. And again, that part, I always think of how when we are in intimate relationships, whether it's with your partner or with your children or whatever, it's like I have given you my heart and you are holding my heart, and vice versa. And so this is something extremely precious, and that needs to be treated as such. And maybe if you think of it in that way, that and which is why I think that the most respectful thing that you can do, if you are in a place where you feel as though, no, this really isn't working, I really want to get out of this, and I want to try something with somebody else, the best thing you can do is to end that relationship before you go out and start hooking up or meeting other people and all that stuff, because it's just honest. And yeah. Oh, yeah. It takes time, it takes consistency. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about, and reassurance, and yeah, that's what you can do to build or rebuild trust in a relationship. Let us know, what are some of your experiences, whether past or present, situations where trust was broken and maybe you found a way to heal it together, or you had to decide, you know what, this is an obvious sign that this is not working anymore, and we have to go our separate ways. And yeah.
Yeah, I believe forgiveness is a gift and it's not for everybody.
Mm.
So let us know if you have experience with that.
Yeah, and forgiveness doesn't mean that it's what happened was okay, but it's really
Yeah.
in order to have peace for yourself.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's what I say. That's a gift that you can give to your partner in order to rebuild the trust.
And that's why I talk about that. That therapy can be in a good place to get, and the reason why I use EMDR as a particular type of therapy that is unbelievably effective, because it's not just in your mind, in your cognitive mind, figuring out. And because many times people, they say, oh well, I've forgiven them, and they may have on some level, but many times you know that it's not all the way to the core, that forgiveness, when you have these when little triggers, the little knee-jerk reactions. And that's why I do EMDR, and especially if there's been any kind of trauma, relationship wounds, that because that gets to where you truly get peace in your heart, and you're not reliving and replaying those scenarios. It literally, when I do EMDR with people, many times the images themselves, they get faded, they go away, the sounds, the words, they get muffled and go away. And that's a sign, when we get to that place during the EMDR process, that this memory is now being properly placed in your brain and in your body, in a way that it's in the past. We don't have to relive it, we don't have to rehash it, we don't have to replay it, because otherwise it's being replayed as though it's still happening right here and now. You can have all of those physical sensations and emotions and all those things, and that's what causes you to continue to have pain in your relationship and in yourself, and maybe recreating something in a new relationship, or the relationship that the pain happened in, because it keeps coming up. So that's one of my go-to when I work with people, to
Yeah.
clear that out. Let's take the garbage out. We don't need that toxic.
You wanna share with us your class?
Oh yes, I have created a 6-week mindset challenge that is free, and it's a step by step to build that foundation where we can get to the place where we can begin to manifest our desired life. So who doesn't need or want that? It's available, it's free, and they will take you through those steps. It's what I have done for myself to build this life that I have, that I love, and it's how I manifested you, my soulmate, and that's what I want for everybody else. Whatever it is that you want to manifest, if it's your soulmate, if it's your dream career, whatever it is, there it is.
Yes. Beautiful. Like, subscribe, and share your experience. Let us know how this trust rebuilding, if you've been in a situation like that, how that works for you, things that you did in order to build or rebuild trust in your relationship.
Yeah. And otherwise, go out and shine your beautiful inner light. We love you.
Thank you.